Welcome to the Early Warning Systems Training Series. This video is prepared by staff at the Everyone Graduates Center based at Johns Hopkins University in partnership with the New Mexico Public Education Department and the High Plains Regional Educational Cooperative. The videos and breakout activities are designed to help your school team plan, design, and conduct regular early warning system problem-solving and implementation activities.
Our nation faces a graduation challenge. There is no work for young adults without a high school degree, and there is no work to support a family unless these young adults get some sort of post-secondary schooling or nation. If our public education system does not prepare our students to be able to find employment to support their families, we're in serious trouble. Moreover, the dropout rate is not uniform. It's in some communities much more than others, and this in fact will cut the entire community off from participation in the 21st century. This hurts the community, but it also weakens the nation. Dropping out of high school means you are much more likely to be unemployed, to be incarcerated, to have health issues at an earlier age, and pass these disadvantages on to your children. As a result, dropping out of high school has high individual and often greater community costs. The good news is, high school graduation rates are rising both in the nation and in New Mexico. We have learned that there are four main types of dropouts. There are some students that drop out because of life events. Something happens outside of school that doesn't allow them to keep going to school. They have to work to support their family, they get arrested, they get pregnant. Another group of students we often miss. They're called fade-outs. These are students that almost make it to the end. They might be the C student, they come every day, they don't really get in trouble, they're not noticed very much, and at some point they make a realization, very wrong, but they believe it at the time, that the jobs they're going to get will be the same whether they get a diploma or not. And they just have a little period of frustration, and they just say, hey, I can quit and get a GED and do just as well. They almost, very soon after they leave school, find out it's not the case. But once they've left school, they often find it very hard to get back to school. Another group of students, if we're honest about it, are push-outs. These are students that the school has gotten tired of, that feels they're causing trouble to the school, that they're holding other students back, or frustrating teachers, and very often administrative rules are applied. If they miss often 10 days of school in a row, or if they reach a certain age, they are sort of dropped from the rolls. And finally, and actually the biggest group of students, is students that are not succeeding in school and are attending schools that aren't designed to give them the supports they need to succeed. These are the students that are actually most addressable if we get them early. The overall dropout crisis, as well as the knowledge that there's different types of dropouts requiring different types of supports, and also the magnitude of the challenge in many of our most highest need schools, presents our schools and communities with a big challenge. It says that in the 21st century, every student, regardless of out-of-school needs, prior levels of school success, or current motivation, needs to graduate from high school, prepared to succeed in post-secondary schooling or training, and the school has got to organize itself to meet these diverse student needs and stick with it and give them the supports they need, and often second and third chances, to enable all students to graduate and be prepared for a successful adult life. So here's the challenge we face that we're asking everyone that's working on this to think about and work together on and put our brain power and our will behind and our hearts and minds and figure out, how can we design schools and support students so that all students graduate prepared for post-secondary schooling or training, and not say, well, we got those we could and the rest we pray for. We need a system that says we can build these supports for all our students. But to do that, we're going to have to really work together, think hard, try lots of things, realize we're not going to get it right the first time or even the second time, but if we keep working on it and work together, we can make a tremendous difference in many students' lives and actually change the trajectory and the future of our nation.
Early warning systems, or EWS, as defined here, are more than just the technology to organize and flag student data. EWS are designed to take what we know about accurate predictive indicators of successful students and pair them with proven strategies for individual, group, or whole school initiatives and interventions. The collaboration and interaction around these two areas are what make an early warning system work. Successful implementation relies upon a multi-level support structure, with the whole school being organized to support students' success in attendance, behavior, and course performance. This can range from the organizational structure, the safety of students in hallways, to the type of learning that students are engaged in during their courses, and must be designed particular to the students in your school.
My name is Ryan Burnett. I am a teacher at Clinton Middle School. This year I will be the Master of the Middle Grades teacher and 8th grade team lead. The best success that we've had is when all of the teachers of that particular grade level are collaborating on a student. Whether they have the student in their class or not, it still helps the entire team identify a student in need. And teachers feel empowered to be able to reach out to that student, even if they're not necessarily theirs, and let that student know that more than one person cares, that people are genuinely invested and involved in their academic performance.
As we have worked with schools who are implementing EWS across the country, we have identified a number of common steps in beginning successful implementation that we will walk through here. First, a point person at your school should begin gathering information about early warning systems and work with school leadership to begin this process. Once this is completed, and as you begin to dig deeper into the work, we recommend that you bring together a team of individuals at your school to lead the planning and implementation. The team should include the following: at least one administrator, at least one teacher, a counselor, an individual who excels at using your student information system, and other school leaders or representatives. The team will be responsible for planning and awareness activities, analyzing ABC data, and organizing initiatives around the ABCs. And you will hear now from one of our New Mexico principals the importance of this work in bringing her staff together.
Independence High School had a staff turnover in the last 3 years, so implementing this program has brought all of us together as staff members, knowing that we are a collaborative team and how important it is for us to work together to meet the student needs. Having that structure helps everyone to be on the same page and be working in the same way towards the same goals for the students.
We recommend that you hold an introductory meeting with your EWS team to begin the planning process. Watching the first EWS overview video is a good first activity for the EWS team. Many schools do this first as their EWS team and then repeat the activity with the entire faculty. Your team should collect and analyze your school's ABC data. The goal of this step is to determine the scope of your school's challenge and to begin to identify areas that need focus or special attention. Lastly, your team should work through the video series, which introduce concepts around tiered interventions, an introduction to meeting around ABC data, and ideas for getting started. The topics of these videos include overview of an early warning system, building a data system, linking indicators to a tiered intervention or tiered support system, planning for your school and district, building commitment, training staff, and sustaining early warning systems, and ideas for effective implementation. In addition to these 6 introductory videos, a 7th video on tracking and analyzing interventions has been added to help sites who have already started and are looking for ways to deepen implementation. There are a variety of resources available to you and your school teams as you are beginning implementation. The training manual and video training series were designed to follow the steps that were just outlined. In addition, on both the New Mexico Public Education Department website and the Everyone Graduates Center Johns Hopkins website, there are a variety of reports, publications, and tools that are available for your team as you begin implementation. To conclude our video, we would like to leave you with a few pieces of advice from staff members, including some in New Mexico, who have been working at schools implementing early warning systems over the past 2 years.
Flexibility. You almost use the same PBS model that you use for the students. Decide what it is that you're going to focus on. Teach it. Practice it, go back and evaluate how it's working, make the adjustments necessary.
Last year, after our EWS training, we were able to really take a look at certain protocols and putting a system in place at our school. And so now we have a framework for working with students and identifying students who are off track and who need a little bit more intervention.
The principals and the administration, they have the initial access to the data. So being forthcoming with that to the teachers is going to be a very empowering idea or empowering process. But let the teachers give the feedback on what they think will be most successful for the student. They're the ones that spend the most time with them day in and day out. So establish the guidelines, establish the data, but allow the teachers the empowerment and the autonomy to help create the plans that are going to be best for the student.
We wish you the best of luck in implementing an early warning system at your school, and we look forward to hearing more about your work.